Um, Not really, not this time of year because you know what's expected. We kind of cover the things we need to cover in a practice. Kingsley, obviously, with final exams, he has a final. Brandon Chuck has a final. Cam has two papers, so those guys weren't a part of practice. And outside of the skill work, we kept Jabari out of contact, which he's fine, but we just kept him out of it. But no, we expect that this time of year, and it's part of it. And you're bogged down with the exams, study time all night, all nights of the hour. All hours of the night, and that's the focus. And we understand as a coaching staff, we have to make sure those guys understand the task at hand, do what they need to do in the classroom to be successful.
You were the last in the league as far as coaches. Who were the
Other guys on the road recruiting, for the past 2 days. Yeah.
What do you like being the only coach out there?
Well, I don't mind it. Obviously I enjoy when our assistants are here in practice, but I don't mind it. It's part of it, and it helps me stay sharp and locked in and prepared. So, and I have to be a part of every practice anyway, and with our practice plan. So it's okay.
How's Cam doing now?
Cam's doing fine. As far as what Barry says, he's progressing very well. Timetable, I'm not sure.
What's the nature of it, if you could say?
We obviously had his knee scoped, and they said 4 to 6 weeks. So 4 to 6 weeks. So and I just kind of play it by ear. I've had scopes, several of them, so I understand that. So, but he's doing well. He says he's feeling well. I think he has an opportunity to start sprinting next week.
Yeah. Okay, so he hasn't been able to do any kind of basketball.
No, outside of just him shooting around, but nothing with the team.
Jabari, have you noticed him slowly getting back into where he used to be?
Yes, and the thing about the last game, Jabari just felt like he didn't have any legs, which playing those 2 games in Hawaii without having any practice time under his belt, and then to fly back from Hawaii and then such a quick turnaround, not surprised at all. But I applaud the fact that he went out and he wanted to come back in, but Barry the trainer, shut him down.
That second game when he was back, he scored 22. You think he was pretty much going on adrenaline at that point?
I think adrenaline and talent. I had one of those days my senior year in college. So, yeah. That's what it was. Reputation, adrenaline, and talent.
And then the lack of conditioning catches up and you're like, oh, I'm shooting blanks here.
Well, I think what really got him, the flight home, the short turnaround. If there was a week within games, it'd be a little bit different. But the short turnaround, the flight home, probably took a physical toll on him.
Have you guys looked at Cal Poly much?
Yes.
What's you excited about that?
They play with 4 guards. They spread you out. They can score the ball. They're pushing the ball. One of those games, again, where you have 4 perimeter guys and we have 2 bigs, so you have to be able to guard one of those guys. But I think it's, again, great for Ivan and King to guard smaller guys, and we do it some in practice. But, again, it's different in games. So we have to be able to contain the dribble. They penetrate in the pitch and spreading you out. We have to do a great job on the transition defense, and I think that's been one of the biggest things we have to continue to improve is our transition defense on the defensive side of the ball. And, again, a great opportunity against a team that pushes the ball with 4 guards. Yeah.
Work. Is it tough without everybody and without all the coaches to be able to do that transition stuff?
Well, we started the practice with more transition, and then we tapered off in the end and got more half court, but just to really get the blood flowing with anything. Because again, I just know from those days where you're up all night, wanted to get them flowing, wanted to get them moving early in the practice. So probably first 15, 20 minutes, a lot up and down. Then we went to the half court setting.
What have you seen? Is everyone mentally there with finals? Is everyone kind of just off in the distance floating, or?
I would say so. But we expect that, and going through this with final exams, with the level of courses some of these guys are taking, it's expected. But it doesn't bother me because I've been through it before. And so what we say to our guys, just be locked in for the time we're here. Stay focused on the task at hand because you have to do a job. And the truth of the matter is every college athlete has a final exam. They have exams going on. There's a finals week. So we're no different than anybody else. So let's focus and lock in on what we need to do to be successful.
Taking the fact that you guys haven't really had your full complement of guys out of the till, taking that off the table, what do you still want to see? What do you want to see from this bunch against Cal Poly?
Well, I think whether it's against Cal Poly or the next opponent, it's really about what we do. I think we're doing a lot of good things defensively. Again, I think the biggest key defensively is improving our transition defense, really stopping the ball. And offensively, continue to get better flow. And I think that'll continue to happen when you have guys that are playing their natural positions. But sometimes when you have guys that are moving around so much, it's really hard to run set plays because a guy, he's used to playing a 2, now he plays a 3, now he's at a 4, like Roger Mute, Domingo, they play in so many different positions. Sam went from a 1 to a 2 to a 3, which I applaud those guys for really locking in and trying to understand those positions. But I think it's better when everybody plays their natural position. So now when you have to run a set play late games, timeout situation, they understand it. But also just better ball movement. I thought we did a good job getting assists in the last game. Better ball movement. Now shooters can do what they do, catch and shoot. Because I thought early with guys being out, we had guys doing things offensively that they weren't used to doing, or those things weren't their strengths. So now guys can play to their strengths.
Was Ivan a little tentative last game, do you think, with that hand?
Well, I think it's the hand and the combination of trying to play defense without fouling. And the thing I say to him, the way the game's officiated, you have to make adjustments. And that's part of it because they're making calls on everybody. So, but the hand's a factor, yes, it is. But he has to play through it, and he's talented enough to understand. But the thing with him, he uses his left hand as well as he uses his right hand. So that's the difference. He's probably better around the rim with his left hand as opposed to his right hand. So, but he's rehabbing, doing what he needs to do to get it ready.
You guys shot the 3 better, I think, than you have all year. Last time out, you had Charlie and Grant each go 4 for 5. Having that now, as I mean, you guys shot 20, 30 in the first 2 games. I think Pete hit 50-some odd threes in the first 2. Having that now back as a weapon, what does that do for you?
Well, that's what we thought because with Ivan Rabb, as you see every night, there's a double team. Somebody's going in and they're scraping the post. So now when guys have the ability to knock shots down, be prepared to shoot the basketball. And whenever they present themselves, be ready to shoot it because they'll guard Ivan a certain way. They even double team King sometimes because he's big and he's physical. So shooters have to be ready to shoot. When those shots there, you have to take them.
Having Jabari hopefully getting his legs now back under him, having Grant with his head in the game now, and obviously Charlie, who can shoot it from Hayward. Does that encourage you going into? I mean, after Cal Poly, obviously you have Virginia and Arizona.
Oh, without a doubt. Because I think those guys have the ability to make shots consistently. Those guys aren't just guys that shoot balls; they can make shots. And when Jabari's healthy, he's one of the better shooters in all of college basketball. The way he shoots, the way he get off of the shot, the way he shoots down, pin down screens, sprinting off screens. And even Steven Domingo, he's struggling shooting the ball, but he's a guy shooting it well in practice. Now we have to translate that from practice to the games.
What do you make of that? Because he went through a streak earlier where he was 0 for 18, not just from the field, and then he was like 1 or 2 for 20 or 30. Well, what do you make of that? Because he started out pretty well.
It's if he didn't work so hard, it'd be tough. But I know he puts the time into it. He puts the work into it. I've seen him. Yesterday morning we shot. I've seen where he makes 9, 10 shots in a row at different spots. I've seen where he had to make 45 and he missed like 20. So, and he made 45 baskets. So I see this with my own 2 eyes. So now it's just about him translating that whatever he's doing in the practice into game situation. I just think with him, once he see a couple shots go down, he'll be fine. I think so. I think with any player, I mean, you look at professional players that struggle in all sports. When things don't go their way, of course, it's mental. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, because he has the mechanics. I mean, I don't necessarily think the mechanics change. I think the thought process and what you're going through, that kind of wavers. But like I said to him, I'm with you. I'm here for you. Stay confident. I think that's the biggest key. And I think he's doing a good job maintaining a level of confidence. But he's also a guy just like Grant, like Jabari. Those guys are more successful when they see the shot go in the rim.
Cole had his biggest game on Saturday. What does his development do for you just in practice and in games?
Cole works hard. He works extremely hard. And again, he's a guy that he's had the luxury, if that's the right word, of going against Cameron, Kingsley, Ivan, Marcus Lee. He banged against those guys last year, Jaylen Brown. So he's guarded all those guys. So he's seen it at a high level consistently. He's never missed practice, doesn't take days off, works on his game. When I finish here, we're going to watch film together. So he's one of those guys. That wasn't a surprise the way he played. I mean, the 10 points is just a number, but his production is like that all the time. And he's a guy I just felt like he'd be in rotation at some point because of the work he put in and because of his thought process and understanding what he needs to do to be successful to stay on the floor. He does those things that we always say little things, but the important things for a team to win games.
And with Marcus, he was out there today, incredibly fluid on offense and defense. What has he given you so far this year?
Marcus Lee, he's done a lot of great things. His ability to sprint the floor, his athleticism, on both ends of the floor, he's very active. A really good defender at all 5 positions, in my opinion, with his length, blocking shots, switching on screens, offensively sprinting the floor. He's a better offensive player than I thought, just watching him. But he also works a lot in his game as well. And I think the next part of his game, the improvement, is just the perimeter shot, the consistent perimeter shot, because all the other stuff I think he has.
Sorry, I came in a little late.
That's all right.
How is Jabari physically? Is he back to 100%?
Well, I don't know if it's 100%. I think he's back. He's healthy, ready to play. I think more than anything, it has a lot to do with his conditioning now. And with conditioning, your back is a factor in that. So the stronger he gets physically and also with his legs, and I think he'll get where he needs to be. But I don't think it's a case of where he can't play because of his back. I think he'll be ready to play, but I think the conditioning and the legs is the biggest key.
And how's Cameron's conditioning coming on?
Well, they say he's doing very well, and I think next week Cameron starts sprinting on the floor. So he hasn't been a part of practice yet. No.
No, I think.
Thank you.